You're welcome to this edition of Joe News today. Now, the maiden Millennium Development Authority Bidders Conference has begun in Accra. The Energy Minister Boakye Jacko opened the conference this morning.
Ghana Industries, the Private Enterprise Federation, and other business associations have met with government or publicly complained about how unreliable power has negatively impacted their businesses. For government, even more critical is the resulting loss of jobs that was precipitated by unreliable power to businesses. Recognizing this fact, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, during the 2017 State of the Nation address, warned that if left unaddressed, the challenges in the energy sector will collapse the Ghanaian economy. As you are aware, Ghana has obtained funding from the Millennium Challenge Corporation, a bilateral United States foreign aid agency, for the Ghana Power Compact, which includes the ECG Financial and Operational Turnaround Project. The MCC is committing close to $500 million for improvements in the power sector directly and indirectly to catalyze critical private sector participation and investments in the distribution sector. The requirements of the private sector to manage, operate, and above all, carry out strategic infrastructure investments in ECG remains the key objective of the PSP program. I wish to re-emphasize the fact that the government is not privatizing ECG. The government of Ghana will maintain ownership of ECG assets whilst they are leased to the private sector to manage and operate. We require, nay, we insist that the private sector partners make investments in excess of $500 million during the first 5 years of the start of the lease agreements. Indeed, in line with the government's desire to grow the economy through the empowerment of the Ghana private sector, we have requested changes in the private sector participation arrangements to allow for significant Ghanaian private sector participation.
Chief Executive Officer of MIDA Ghana, Engineer Ras Safo, has also been sharing his thoughts at the conference.
One of the key activities, as has been said, is the ECG private sector participation activity. Two PSP options, as discussions unfolded, were granted the government of Ghana. These options were partial privatization and a long-term concession. And the government of Ghana elected and selected a concession option as the option to pursue. You may be aware that the Electricity Company of Ghana is indeed one of the largest distribution companies in sub-Saharan Africa. It has over 3 million registered customers. It distributes and sells over 6,000 gigawatt hours of electricity. Now, whilst ECG service area covers only 36% of Ghana's territory in terms of land mass, customers are over 18 million. I'm talking about the population served. And 57% of these customers live in urban areas. There's no doubt, therefore, that the ECG concession is a very, very interesting one. And we are delighted at the level of interest shown by various companies, both local and foreign. Madam Chair, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me repeat that it is anticipated that as a result of this transaction, private investors will bring in private financing to fund key investments and reduce losses and improve system performance, amongst other objectives. Since the government selected the long-term concession as its preferred private sector participation option in the first quarter of 2015, a lot of progress has been made and a lot of work has been done. Activities
Now, government-assisted senior high schools in the northern and upper regions have reopened today following a 2-week delay. Heads of assisted senior high schools in the 7 high schools refused to reopen due to lack of funds to pay their suppliers. The delay led to the payment of over 106 million Ghana cedis by the Ministry of Finance to the Scholarship Secretariat for onward payment to the schools. Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafiq Salam traveled to the Wa Senior High School, one of the beneficiary schools, and reports that over 200 students had already reported as at the time of his visit.
Government-assisted senior high schools in the northern belt of the country were to reopen on the 4th of May 2017. Their reopening, however, delayed due to government inability to pay feeding grants owed them. An amount of 184,851,616.60 Ghana cedis has been outstanding since the beginning of 2017, which is supposed to be scholarship payments for the third term of 2015-2016, the first term of 2016-2017, and the expected payment for the second term of 2016-2017. The Finance Ministry last week released an amount of 106,697,628.80 Ghana cedis to the Registrar of Scholarships for payments of feeding grants for second cycle schools in the 3 northern regions. Since heads of the 72 senior high schools in the 3 northern regions have received the payments, they have no other option than to fix dates for reopening of their schools. Wa Senior High School, one of the oldest senior high schools in the Upper West region, reopened today. When Joy News visited the school at 5:30 this evening, over 200 students had reported. We bumped into some female students registering their names with their house mistress. Although they were happy with the reopening, they were however sad with the 2 weeks delay.
We are happy, but we are sad somehow because we were supposed to open on 12th, and it's about 3 weeks now, but we have not yet opened. So it will make us delay in our academic performance. I think the government should do something. If they know that they can't be paying the feeding grants, they should let parents know, so that every parent should prepare his or her wards to be well prepared and come to school, because he or she will know that now there are no more feeding grants.
Yes, we are happy because our mates are the staff. They went to school on the 4th of May and they are already learning. And we are sitting in the house doing nothing, waiting for our feeding grants. So I'm happy to be in school.
While teachers at the school welcome the payment of the feeding grants, they however considered that they will need to work above themselves in order to cover the syllabi. Sarah Basake is a house mistress at the school.
Very, very inconvenienced because we have been taken backward. Our schemes of work, at least we should have taught something now. But look at us here. It means we have a lot to cover before they write their final exams.
As you can see at my back is a huge pile of firewood ready for consumption at the kitchen. Clearly means that the school is ready to be back to life again. Reporting for Joy News, Rafiq Salam. Wow.
Away from the education sector, Minister of Defense Dominic Nitiwul has tasked the Chief of Defense Staff to immediately launch investigations into accusations of some military officers providing security for illegal small-scale miners. Responding to reports about the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, John Peter Amewu, facing resistance from some military men providing security for some illegal miners, Mr. Nitiwul says the culprits who engaged in the act will be made to face the full rigors of the law. The minister further stated his outfit will take a second look at an arrangement where military officers are made to provide security for legal mining concessions. Let's speak to Maxwell Agbagba, my colleague, for more on this story. Hello, Maxwell.
Yeah, hello, Bennett.
Where did the minister make these comments?
Well, he was touring the Eastern Naval Command, but midway the tour, he stopped and then said he wanted to address the media on that issue when some of us went closer to him to ask him about it. He said that it has gotten to his attention, and then he's trying to reach the minister himself to get some clarifications on the matter, but he was unable to do that. And he said the military hereafter will be launching investigations into the matter to ensure that the militiamen who are complicit in this issue will be sanctioned appropriately. We also asked him about the BNI report that indicted some military officers. He says that report has not come to the attention of the military hierarchy yet, but he promised that they will take action immediately the report is brought before them.
And Maxwell, when he says they will take action, was he definite in what type of action it will be?
Hello?
Hello, Maxwell.
Yeah, hello, Ben.
I was asking, when he says they will take action, was he definite about what type of action it will be?
Well, he was not definite, except to say that, first of all, they will make those, the culprits, go through the military disciplinary process first, and then they would also be made to go through the civilian process, which I'm sure would be the law courts.
All right, so you're with the minister, he's on a tour. Where else is he expected to visit?
Well, his first port of call actually was the Eastern Naval Command. There he's at some buildings and some structures housing the military personnel there. He also set a guard of honor. He also received a central briefing from the Eastern Naval Command. Some other officers from other units as well briefed him on issues largely bordering on security, terrorism, and then protection for civilians. And then also he is currently at the Tema Manche Palace, where he was received by the Tema Manche. So he said and mentioned to the Tema Manche that he come here to familiarize himself with the activities of the military here, and to also come and greet him since he's the one hosting the Naval Command here in this region. Right now, we are heading to the Armed Training School somewhere in Shah Hills, and then later the activities will be climaxed with the DEBA.
All right, thank you very much, Maxwell Agbagba, for the updates on the tour of the Minister for Defense, the Minister of Defense, Dominic Nituwu. Now, the Chinese woman accused of deep involvement in illegal small-scale mining, Aisha Huang, today reacted angrily to the decision by an Accra High Court to set June 2 to rule on her bail application. The accused and 4 other Chinese nationals were arrested by the Ghana Immigration Service in Kumasi and brought to Accra for trial for illegally operating a mining concession. Justice Charles Ekobaden, after hearing arguments for and against the application, set June 2 to rule on the matter. This did not sit well with Aisha Huang as she banged her fist against the courtroom seats and broke into tears a few minutes after. The main grounds for their bail application is that she is unwell and suffers from a medical condition which requires urgent attention. The Attorney General's representative, however, insisted the prison service can provide that. They fear she may interfere with investigation if she is granted bail. Let's get onto the phone lines and speak to my colleague, Joseph Akablay, who was in court for joining us. Hello, Joseph.
Hello, Bennett.
So just tell us exactly what happened and this, if I may call it, dramatic court sitting.
So it all commenced first with a heated argument between lawyers on both sides. First has to do with the fact that the Attorney General's representative, Mercy Arthur, informed the court that they wanted to withdraw the initial charge sheet and file a new charge sheet before the court. The initial charge sheet sought to charge them just under the Immigration Act. But with this new charge sheet that we were bringing before the court, they also wanted to charge them under the Mining Act as well. Now, the problem that lawyers for Aisha Huang and the 4 other Chinese nationals had with this is that the new document did not have facts attached to it. And their argument was that they had made an application for bail which was they were expected to move today. So how were they to make an application based on a charge sheet that had just been amended before the court? But Justice Ekobedi directed that since Mercy Arthur was in court and going to argue on that, they could listen in, and after which they will advance their argument if they have anything to say in that regard. Then they moved on to the substantive bail application. The lawyers for Aisha Huang and the four others insisted that Aisha Huang had a medical condition that required urgent attention, for which reason they wanted her application to be granted. They said she was diagnosed in China. Since she has been in the country so far, she has been receiving medical treatment, and the ailment is such that it's a routine medical treatment that she receives, for which reason they want that to be, the bill to be granted for that treatment to continue. But this was opposed by the Attorney General's rep, Mercy Arthur. She said the prison service was capable of providing that service. All they require was for the doctors who are currently taking care of her to provide the third requirement of prescription that she's treated with, after which they'll provide that in the prison. Again, she said investigations are still ongoing, which they have not concluded, fearing she could interfere with that. So it was after hearing this argument that Justice Ekobedi fixed June 2. Aisha visibly looked unhappy about the decision. She banged her fist on the seat in the courtroom and broke down into tears a few minutes after. It had to take the intervention of her lawyers as well as the immigration officers who brought her in as they tried to calm her down for over 15 minutes, after which she was led out of the courtroom, Benny.
All right, Joseph, this medical condition for which she's requesting bail, was the condition specified?
Not at all. The point her lawyers made was that, medical conditions are things that are private. They are very crucial and you cannot state it in the open. But what they supplied to the court, tendered into the court in evidence, was the diagnosis from China, which was in Chinese, which they told the court they had translated at the Ghana Institute of Languages. So they attached the translated copy and the original one from the Chinese hospital, and they gave those documents to the court. So in terms of the specifics, we're not made aware of.
All right, Joseph, so how have her lawyers been reacting to this particular ruling?
I engaged one of her lawyers, one Kwame Reid, and he is of the view that as far as they are aware, the very first time they made the application that was turned down 2 weeks ago, prosecution did indicate that it required 1 week to undertake investigation. It has been 2 weeks already. So as far as they were concerned, they were of the view that it was time she should have been granted a bill as investigation should have concluded, and they were very unhappy about this development. But they just hope that on June 2, they get the bill application through.
Thank you, Joseph Akablay, for the updates. You're watching Joy News today with me, Bernice Abubaid. We'll take a quick break now. We'll bring you more stories when we come back. Please stay with us. This is Joy News today with me, Bernice Abubaid. Many thanks for your company. Let's stay a while on galamsey issues. Police in the eastern region are searching for 4 illegal miners believed to be operators of a galamsey site in Akim Mampong. The police, acting on a tip-off from the anti-galamsey task force in Inyinim that a Kia truck was carrying some miners to that galamsey site, proceeded to the site and arrested the driver of the Kia truck, identified as Osman Shaibu, aged 38. Other machine operators at the site managed to escape. The police have impounded the Kia truck together with 2 Chaffan machines, 2 angle bars and 3 water hoses. And ASP Ebenezer Tete is the Eastern Regional Police PRO, joining us on the line with more. Good afternoon, ASP.
Good afternoon.
At what time exactly was this arrest made?
We had the information in the evening that they were moving to site. So based on the information that we received, we quickly proceeded to the mining site where they were going to engage the illegal mining. But unfortunately, the machine operators managed to escape, but we have arrested the driver of the Kia truck, and he's in our custody assisting us with investigations whilst we pursue the 4 machine operators who managed to escape from the mining site.
So ASP, you are on a manhunt for these 4 others. What's the progress with that?
Yes, we are looking for the 4 suspects to arrest. So we are appealing for information from persons who know the identities of these people, because they were able to escape as quickly as possible. We were not able to identify them well, so we are depending on information from others to get to this person arrested. The driver that we have in our custody is also going to assist us to also get to this person. So as we speak now, they are on the run.
Okay, and do you have a clue or an idea where they could be, so that people will be on the lookout for these people or persons?
We are suspecting that they will be around the Akim Mampong area and the other adjoining town. So that is why it is commendable that the anti-galamsey task force informed us as quickly as possible. Because the illegal mining has been declared an activity that is destroying the environment and wreaking havoc on everybody, we are also ensuring that its activities, as it has been declared illegal, will continue to be so. So we'll continue to pursue them and get them arrested to make them face the full rigors of the law.
All right, ASP, can you in any way tell us if these people are Ghanaians or foreigners?
Yeah, Ghanaians.
They're Ghanaians. All right, and you say that you had the information in the evening. Does this in any way suggest that some of these activities are still done in the evening in some of these mining communities?
You know, there are still deviants and very, very recalcitrant people who think that they can still act with impunity and get away with it. And largely, the activities of galamseyers has reduced to a very minimum here since the war was waged against the galamsey in the eastern region and other parts of the country. So, yeah, there are some of them who are deviants and they still want to test the law. That is why we also ensure that when they are arrested, they are dealt with in accordance with the law so that it will serve as a deterrent for them.
Thank you very much for your time this afternoon. ASP Ebenezer Teta is the Eastern Regional Police PRO. Let's stay a while on matters of mining. The Environmental Protection Agency says it will send samples of substances believed to be a large consignment of sodium cyanide for testing to determine the efficacy of the substance. It follows the successful evacuation of the toxic supervised by a combined Environmental Protection Agency, police and national security team Monday. Officials of the EPA warned the substances kept in 1,000 kilograms and concealed in boxes in a residential facility at Maxima in Kumasi is harmful to humans and animals. The police team was led by the Regional Crime Officer, ACP Peter Baba, whilst the EPA was led by the agency's regional boss, Samuel Oting. Acting on intelligence, operatives of national security discovered what is believed to be the toxic substance in large quantities. Mr. Oting says the test is needed to ascertain the content of the substance and also to understand its potency. Now, the atmosphere in the northern region town of Tatale appears still tense following the death of seven persons in a gun battle that erupted among residents, police and armed robbers on Sunday, lasting for 2 days. Speaking to Joy News this morning, Member of Parliament of the area, Tampis Simon Echampong, said security has been beefed up. However, Joy News sources on the ground say the personnel on deployment are not satisfied with the numbers and are therefore calling for reinforcement. And we hear that there's a RECSEC meeting currently ongoing. Let's speak to Eric Bate, who is a local journalist in the area. Hello, Eric. Hello, Eric.
Yeah, hello.
Good afternoon to you. And what can you tell us about this RECSEC meeting ongoing?
Currently, I would say I've seen a few little police officers around, like from 3-4 unknown faces from WB. I've seen their commander who have brought his car and is currently in the district assembly. And so far, there are the security personnel I've seen around. In the morning, I don't say say, just meet me around 10 days. But when I bypassed the police station, the 4 or 5 police who are at the police station here, I saw them, they also dressed in their uniform and what is it? Listen, they were in one pickup.
All right, Eric, one thing you keep raising is the issue of numbers when it comes to security personnel in Tatale. How big is the community?
How big is the community? Tatale is a serious farming community town. And what is it? The community is made up of like houses, there are the bursaries and the cucumbers.
Okay.
So what the Hausa people, they are rooted in the town. But because it's a border town, from totally just some 5-6 minutes drive away from the, you are entering to Togo, you are crossing the border to Togo.
Okay.
So the people from Bimbala, Yendi, Tamale, all those Igbo people, business people that cross here to Lome to buy stuff, this is their route they all go through. So when they come, they change money safer. So that is how business plan is. Today is Tuesday. All the cars from Lome, Togo, they are already crossed. Currently they are in town.
All right.
So business people who are going that way, this is where they all go through.
All right, Eric.
Actually, it's not all that big, but at least the population of like 35,000, 40,000, we are big enough.
All right, Eric, thank you very much for the updates. Let's now speak to MP for the area, Simon Echampong. Good afternoon, sir. Thanks for your time.
Good afternoon.
Well, we hear there's going to be a RECSEC meeting. Any updates on that particular meeting, sir?
Yeah, currently in the affected community, to be precise, New Jado, to commiserate with the bereaved family. But I am just preparing to get to town, and I believe I'll meet DISEC. I think for now, the police commander and other officers are around the district assembly, and I will soon join them to see how best, and then we can put things together and see the way forward.
All right, Honorable, the number of people dead, does it still stand at 7?
Yeah, for now, the security personnel, those that were deployed are on special duty. So I was told in the morning they will get back to Yendi and they will send some men to reinforce those in Tatale.
I'm talking about the number of people who are said to have died as a result of this incident.
Yeah, for now, what I've gathered from the residents and confirmed reports indicate that 4 persons, including Amra, that is 6, lost their lives.
All right, Mr. Tampi, when we speak to the residents in the area, they complain bitterly about the lack of adequate security in the area. And considering the fact that this is a town that leads to the border between Ghana and Togo, what is your plan in beefing up security in the area? They also tell us this is not the first, second or third time this is occurring.
Yeah, this is a very worrying issue because the town, the commercial town, is a border town, and a lot of people transit there to neighboring countries like Togo, Benin, and Nigeria. Therefore, there's need for us to have enough security men. One is a transit for people to pass through to other countries. There's need for security.
All right, I understand that, but I'm asking what you are doing as MP of the area.
Yes, for now I'm going to liaise with the DISEC and also with Regional Police Command and further speak to the Minister for Interior to see if they can create more police posts in the area so that they can avert such menace from
occurrences. All right. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon, Simon Champon Tampis, MP for Tatale Sanguli. You're watching Joy News today.